Alright, moving on to WrestleMania 39, the two-night event taking place from SoFi Stadium in Southern California. On paper, this looks like a very good card, obviously. And let's just get into it here. We're going to begin with Rey Mysterio Jr. taking on Dominic Mysterio. Obviously, this match just came about recently with Rey accepting a challenge recently on SmackDown after all the verbal that Young Dom has given to Rey for the last several weeks. And ultimately, it ultimately took Young Dom insulting his mom and his sister for Rey to accept the match and finally punish him. Again, this should be a very good match. Obviously, Rey Mysterio is going to be in the ring there. Young Dom is going to be in good hands here. I'm not a big fan of Young Dom's work in the ring. I think he's still pretty green. His promo work is done very well for himself. I will say, since joining the Judgment Day, it has worked out very nicely for him. But obviously, with Rey Mysterio Jr. in the ring, he's going to carry most of the match. Call the match and give Young Dom a good bit of offense on him. And ultimately, in the end, I think Young Dom is going to be my pick. Dominic Mysterio is going to be the one to win the match here. I think Rey puts him over here. I think that's the right move. I don't think this is going to be a retirement match. I thought initially maybe they would do this as some sort of a retirement match. Now, again, they could be doing something on SmackDown this Friday. I'm recording these picks ahead of SmackDown on Friday from Los Angeles, so maybe a stipulation will be added to the match. But as of this point, there was no stipulation added. And at this time, I think Young Dom's going to get the win here, and Rey puts him over. I think that's what we're getting here. So Young Dom is going to be my pick to beat Rey Mysterio Jr. The WrestleMania Showcase match for the men here, the four-way tag team match. We have the Street Profits, the Alpha Academy, the Viking Warrior Machine Experience, and Braun Strowman and Ricochet. We saw all 8 of these guys in a 8-man tag on Raw this week. Again, I don't think they're going to be doing anything on SmackDown heading into this. But as far as this match goes, I know the babyface team won on Raw Monday night, and typically that does not bode well for the babyface for the winners heading into WrestleMania or to a big pay-per-view. So you would think the Alpha Academy or the Viking Warrior Machine Experience is actually going to win this match. I don't think either of those teams are winning here. I think it comes down to the Profits or Braun Strowman and Ricochet, and honestly, I think Braun Strowman and Ricochet are the pick here. I'm going to go with them to win here. Ricochet, I know, got the winning, or actually not Ricochet. Montez Ford actually got the winning pinfall for his team on Raw Monday nights. I think Braun Strowman and Ricochet get the win here in the showcase match, and I don't know if that's going to lead to a tag team title match. There is nothing on the line in this match at this point. That could change, but Braun Strowman and Ricochet are going to be my pick here to win the men's WrestleMania Showcase tag team four-way match. As far as the women go, in their showcase match, we have Raquel Gonzalez and Liv Morgan as a team. They're taking on Natty and Shotzi, who are going to be taking on Ronda and Shayna Baszler, who are going to be taking on Chelsea Green and Sonya Deville. Again, we talked earlier in the podcast about how Sonya Deville's in the match and how Carmella's not in the match. Carmella, again, as I mentioned earlier, is in Los Angeles. She was seen at an LA Angels game on Tuesday this week. Looks to be in pretty good spirits from the photos that we saw of her. And so hopefully she's doing well. I don't know if she plays a factor in this match at all. I don't know. She could do something in this match. She was originally supposed to be the partner for Chelsea Green. Sonya Deville gets the spot here. But as far as who's winning this match, I think it's pretty obvious who's winning this match. And I believe whoever wins this match, I don't think they've said it officially, but whoever's winning this match probably is the number one contender for the women's tag team titles. And I think it's going to be Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler winning the match. Even though Ronda Rousey does have an arm injury legitimately, so I would expect Shayna Baszler to do most of the heavy lifting here. But I still think in the end, Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler are the pick here. I mean, it seems obvious, but I think that's what they're going for here. So Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler are my pick to win the WrestleMania Women's Showcase 4-way match here. And I believe they will become the number one contenders for the women's tag team titles, which are being held by Becky Lynch and Lita. We have the Hell in a Cell match with Edge, who I think is going to be reverting back to his days as part of the Brood way back in the Attitude Era. He's going to be taking on Finn Balor, and Finn Balor is going to be coming out as the Demon Finn Balor. This is going to be the first time we've seen the Demon version of Finn Balor in a heel-type way, but that's what we're getting here in this Hell in a Cell match. Hopefully this will be the end of it for these two here once and for all. Hell in a Cell matches, that's usually where a blow-off match happens here, and this needs to be it here. And again, these two guys are going to go out and deliver. I think, obviously, have a very good match, no question about it here. Ultimately, in the end, though, as far as Edge goes, I think Finn Balor should win this match. I honestly think Finn Balor should be the one. Finn Balor's the one that's going to be hanging around. Edge, I think, is more or less probably going to be, going back to me doing the part-time stuff or whatever or not. Edge got the win the last time. There was a match involving these two. I think Finn Balor gets his win back, and, he gets rid of the stink from the last time we saw the Demon version of Finn Balor, which was in that match with Roman Reigns, in which, Finn Balor, the Demon, fell off the top rope and landed face first and looked like an idiot in the whole process. I think Finn Balor gets his win back here, and Finn Balor redeems himself as the Demon and beats Edge in the Hell in a Cell match. Should be a very, very good match here. WWE Intercontinental Title Triple Threat match. We have Walter defending the title against Drew McIntyre and Sheamus. Should be a banger, no question about it. 3 great workers in the match here. You can make a case for any one of the 3 to win this match. They've done a very good job with Walter as the Intercontinental Champion. They've kept him very strong. Obviously, he had a showcase match on Raw this past Monday night when he beat Dolph Ziggler, but it was Dolph Ziggler, so is that really accomplishing anything? But anyways, as far as this goes, again, you can make a case for any one of the 3 guys here. Ultimately, in the end, though, it seems kind of obvious, but I think they're going to do it. I think Sheamus finally captures the Intercontinental title for the first time, and he finally completes the Grand Slam for the belts. It's the only title that he has never won that's an active title, so I think Sheamus is going to win the Intercontinental title when he ultimately, I think Walter takes the fall here. I don't think Sheamus is pinning Drew McIntyre. I think Walter is involved in the decision here, and Sheamus becomes the champion. I think Walter should be moving on to bigger things. I think he should be in consideration for a program for the Todd title, honestly. He's held the title, the IC title, for a while, but I think it's Sheamus' time. You do it here. I think this is the perfect time to do it, and Sheamus is the pick here to become the new Intercontinental Champion. Raw Women's title match here with Bianca Belair as champion taking on Asuka here. The build to this match has been putrid. It's been horrible. You have 2 great workers here. It should be a very good match. The build has been very lackluster. I've not been overly impressed with what I've been seeing here. It does not feel like an important match like it should be, with 2 very good talents in this match here. For Bianca Belair, I've been saying this for a long time. I've been, saying this for at least a year, if not longer, since she held that title, since she's won the title. She won the title off of Becky Lynch, I believe it was, if I'm not mistaken. But anyway, or no, she beat Sasha at last year's WrestleMania. She beat Mercedes Moné last year at WrestleMania, I believe it was, to win the title. So she's held the title for nearly a year, and it should be a very good match. As far as Bianca, I've been saying for this much time that Bianca should be a heel. Bianca should turn heel. Her whole EST shtick just reeks of heel, and I'm surprised they haven't done it yet. And I know she's an inspiration to young women out there. I know her merch apparently sells very well, but I think a Bianca Belair heel turn is in the cards down the line here. I think Bianca's retaining, by the way. I don't see Asuka winning the title. I know Asuka's kind of reverted back to her Kana character from Japan all those years ago. I thought they had a pretty good hype package for Asuka on Raw Monday night. I enjoyed that, but I don't think it's going to be enough for her to win the title here. I think Bianca's retaining. There was also news going around that supposedly Kairi Sane is a free agent and would like to come back to the United States. I could see her and Asuka being a team again. They were a team at one point as well. I would love to see that happen. I want to see Kairi Sane come back and do something with Asuka. That's what I'm hoping for. I'm hoping that we get a Bianca Belair her heel turn not long after WrestleMania. I think she's due for one. I don't know if they're going to do it or not, but I think Bianca is going to retain the Raw Women's title here against Asuka, and hopefully it should be a very good match. We have Becky Lynch, Lita, and Trish Stratus in a 6-woman tag taking on Damage Control. That's Bayley, Dakota Kai, and Io Shirai. This is going to be a very interesting match. A lot of talk going around on social media and across the internet wrestling community talking about who's going to turn on who. There's rumors out there that supposedly Trish Stratus will be turning heel, taking on Becky Lynch in a program, which will ultimately lead to a match at SummerSlam. I've seen that being reported as well. To me, I don't think that's a good idea. I honestly, what I think should happen is Becky, Lita, and Trish winning this match. I think that is what's going to happen. And I think we are seeing the beginning of the end of Damage Control, honestly. I do think it's coming, this whole Damage Control thing. And look, I like Bayley, I like Dakota Kai, I like Io Shirai individual. This group has not worked for the most part. Yes, Dakota Kai and Io Shirai were women's tag team champions, but let's be honest, the women's tag team titles don't have much value. Let's just be fair, because there's not enough teams. There's just not enough teams, and that's what's hurting it. But I think Becky Lynch and Trish wind up winning the match here, and I think we see the beginning and the end of Damage Control. The question is, does Bayley turn on Dakota and Io, or does Dakota and Io turn on Bayley? I honestly think that Dakota Kai and Io Shirai should turn on Bayley. I think Bayley should go back to being a babyface. People do like Bayley, even though she's been a heel. She's actually done a very good job as a heel. Actually proved me wrong. I thought she wouldn't do as well as a heel because she was so over as a babyface for so many years. But I think it's time for Bayley to go back to being a babyface here pretty soon. I hope we're on the track of seeing that. I do think Dakota Kai and Io Shirai are going to turn on Bayley because they're tired of her, kind of manipulating them and keeping them down. I think that's kind of the story they're going to be telling here eventually. And they're going to turn on Bayley here, and I think they're going to leave her laying. And whether that makes Dakota and Io babyfaces or Bayley a babyface, I think Bayley should be a babyface, honestly. But Becky, Lita, and Trish are winning this 6-woman tag team match. Brock Lesnar will be taking on Doorman Jordan Almas here in a match that nobody really cares for. Hopefully this match goes no more than 2 to 3 minutes. Brock Lesnar is going to be the one to beat Doorman Jordan here. There's no way that Doorman Jordan Almas is beating Brock Lesnar here. Brock Lesnar is not losing to someone like this. Brock Lesnar is going to get the win here, and he's going to take Almas off his feet when it's all said and done. Brock Lesnar is my pick to win here. Seth Rollins, he's going to be taking on Logan Paul here in a match. Of course, we mentioned earlier in the podcast that supposedly Logan Paul's contract with WWE is up at WrestleMania. He has said so. He said so as much on his Impulsive podcast did Logan Paul this week. Mentioned his contract was up at WrestleMania, which would lead me to think if Logan Paul is leaving again, we don't know if he's leaving or if he's re-signing and coming back, or this is all just smoke coming out of his rear end. I think Seth Rollins should win the match. I think Seth Rollins, if Logan Paul is leaving, I think he does the honors on the way out here, and Seth Rollins gets the win. Rollins is the one that's staying around. Seth Rollins is another guy you can say that could be perhaps working his way up for a world title program at some point very soon again. I think Seth Rollins gets the win over Logan Paul here. If Logan Paul is leaving, Seth Rollins should wind up getting the win here. He is my pick to win. WWE United States title match with Austin Theory as a champion taking on John Cena. This is actually opening night 1 of WrestleMania. And obviously, Austin Theory cut his promo on Raw Monday night. Pretty standard stuff. We've not seen John Cena outside of the one appearance that we saw him when him and Austin Theory were in the ring together in Boston, and John Cena laid the verbal smackdown on him. I think Austin Theory in the end will get the last laugh, and I think Austin Theory is going to send John Cena packing here. Cena's coming in, doing this job, and then going right back out. That's why it's opening night 1 of WrestleMania. He wants to get in, get out, and get this match done, and get the hell out as soon as he can here. And I think that's what we're getting here. I think Austin Theory is going to win here, and getting a win over someone like John Cena can only help elevate someone like an Austin Theory here, because a lot of people see Austin Theory as the next big star in WWE. He's going to be probably the next John Cena of his generation, and I could definitely see that happening. And Austin Theory will be main eventing WrestleMania, so if he stays around long enough, he will definitely be main eventing WrestleMania, so in years to come. And I think a win over John Cena here would be huge, a big feather in his cap, and he is my pick here. Now, some people seem to think that maybe they would go for a shock value and have Cena win and then have him, drop the title on Raw Monday night. I don't see that making any sense. I just think Austin Theory should get the win here, and John Cena does the job and puts him over. He's put over many guys before. I don't see why this would be a big deal now. SmackDown Women's title match. Charlotte Flair is going to be taking on Rhea Ripley for the SmackDown Women's title, and what many people are thinking this will be the main event of night 1. No. We'll talk about the Undisputed Tag Team title match here in a moment. Charlotte Flair is taking on Rhea Ripley here. They've been drawing on the history of what happened 3 years ago at the Empty Performance Center in Orlando when they had WrestleMania when Charlotte beat her at the time. Rhea was a different person at the time. The build to this match has not been very good as well. Much like the Raw Women's title match with Bianca and Asuka, they have not really done a good job building this match up either. They've tried to draw back on the past, but I don't think they've done a really good job. But again, this is more than likely going to main event night 1 of WrestleMania. I think Rhea Ripley gets her moment here. She gets her redemption from what happened 3 years ago when Charlotte beat her. Rhea Ripley is going to become the new SmackDown Women's Champion. I think it's one of the easiest picks on the entire card here between both nights. If Rhea's not winning the title here, then what are we doing? You got to build up Rhea Ripley. If you want people to take her seriously, and people want to cheer her anyways. I think Charlotte's miscast in this role as a babyface. Charlotte Flair in her promo on SmackDown, or actually on Raw this past week, came off more heelish than babyface. And Rhea Ripley, I think we could potentially see what people call the double turn here, where Rhea becomes a babyface and Charlotte goes back to being a heel. Charlotte is better as a heel anyways. I think Rhea Ripley, people want to cheer her. And I think she's gonna get a big reaction and a lot of cheers when she beats Charlotte Flair to become the SmackDown Women's title holder here. I think that's what we're getting here. The Undisputed Tag Team title match here with the Usos defending the tag team titles, taking on Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. And this is the match that I feel should be the main event of night one. This match has been built very strong here. They've put a lot of time and effort into this. And this is the match that should be main event in night one of WrestleMania. If they don't main event night one with this, this should be the match that opens night two. It's going to be one or the other, I think. It's the only two places on the card between both nights where this match should be at. And honestly, I think this should be the main event of night one, as the Usos are taking on Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. Should be a fantastic match. And, and I know that people will make the argument, well, Rhea Ripley won the Women's Royal Rumble, and the Royal Rumble winner gets a main event spot at WrestleMania. There are examples of Royal Rumble winners from the past who have not main evented WrestleMania. So you can't really make that argument, though. I think they are going to go with Charlotte and Rhea in the main event of night one. So they could open night two with this and start off with a bang here, because I think they are going to do the obvious here. I think they are finally switching the belts here. The Usos are dropping the tag team titles. I think Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn are winning these WWE Undisputed Tag Team titles here. To a big reaction from the crowd here. I think either you close night one or open night two with this, and you get a big reaction to get things going here. And I think that's what we're getting here. I think the Usos' long historic run of over 600 days as tag team champions is coming to an end here. I don't see any reason why they need to be holding those belts any longer. So Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn is my pick to win the WWE Undisputed Tag Team titles here. Finally, the last match in the main event of Night 2 of WrestleMania for the Undisputed WWE Universal title. We have Roman Reigns defending the belts against Cody Rhodes, the match that everyone's been waiting for. I think they've probably done the best job of any of the matches building this one up. I think outside of the Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, Uso stuff, this is the match that everyone wants to see. Should be very good. A lot of this talk online as to who's going to win, who's going to lose here. I've been of the belief that Cody Rhodes, for the longest time, that Cody Rhodes should be the one to end Roman Reigns' run as champion. I was pretty confident that that Cody Rhodes was going to win here. I'm not feeling as confident now, because they've made a lot of references to the 1,000 day mark as being champion. He's so close to 1,000 days. Roman is. He's not going to catch Bob Backlund's mark or Hogan's mark or Bruno Sammartino's mark. It's not going to happen for Roman Reigns in that. But Roman Reigns is closing in on 1,000 days, and they did not say that on purpose or not by accident. There was a reason why they said that. I'm getting the real feeling, because I've thought for the longest time that Cody Rhodes would win the title here. I don't think Cody Rhodes is winning the title here. I think Roman Reigns is going to wind up retaining. I do think he's going to retain to close out night 2, and Cody Rhodes will come very close. I could definitely see interference, a schmoz here at the end, an overbooked cluster of a finish. Probably see a ref bump. We'll see all the things that one would expect here. I think ultimately in the end, Roman Reigns is going to win and retain here. I do think Cody is going to be the one to take the belt off of him. I don't think it's going to happen yet, though. Now, if he wins the title here, I would not have an issue with it, because I think Cody Rhodes is the guy to eventually unseat him as the champion. But they may hold off on that until sometime like SummerSlam when they're in Detroit, where they could do it there. I think that's certainly a possibility. But I think Roman Reigns is going to be retaining here. Now, I know the odds makers have Cody winning the title here. I don't think it's going to happen. I think Roman's going to retain. Again, would I be disappointed if Cody won? No, I would not. Personally, I think Roman Reigns' title run needs to come to an end at some point. And, Roman Reigns, he's working a part-time schedule, and I know the report is out there saying that he's going to be taking supposedly a significant break here in the near future as well. Now, he could take that break, even though he could still be the champion and take that break anyways. We may not see him on television for a while, but if he drops the title, that would mark a significant reason why he would take a break as well. So, but in the end, I think Roman Reigns is going to win and retain here. That's just my thought on this. I think Cody will eventually take the belt off him, but The more I'm thinking about it, and again, they mentioned the 1,000-day mark. They didn't do that. They didn't do that on purpose. There was a reason behind that, and I think Roman Reigns is going to retain here when it's all said and done. Now, you may have noticed that I didn't mention anything about a Bobby Lashley Bray Wyatt match. Now, the match as of this point is not on the card. Bobby Lashley is going to be in the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal on SmackDown, and so is somebody named LA Knight, aka Eli Drake. I think what's going to happen here is that one of these two could possibly win the Battle Royal. I know Bronson Reed, who we saw on Raw Monday Night in that backstage promo, in that backstage segment, he's another guy that could possibly win this as well. I think something's going to happen in the match that leads to Bobby Lashley getting his match at WrestleMania. I don't think it's going to be against Bray Wyatt. I don't know what's going on with Bray Wyatt. A lot of rumors and talk about what's going on with him, why we've not heard anything from him, whether it's because of backstage reasons, because of health issues, or whatever not. I think Bobby Lashley is going to have a match, and he's going to have it against LA Knight. Now, this is a match I pitched several weeks ago, and, it's all of a sudden it seems to be picking up traction, so I'm glad people are using an idea that I pitched a while ago, and now it seems to be getting traction. It looks like we could be getting Bobby Lashley and LA Knight in a match at WrestleMania. LA Knight said he wanted to be on the show. LA is in his name, and you can't have an LA WrestleMania without LA Knight, at least according to him. So I think you do Bobby Lashley and LA Knight if you're not going to get Bobby Lashley and Bray Wyatt here. So I think if they do have that match, I think Bobby Lashley should win. But hey, for LA Knight, at least he gets to be on the card. And I'll mention as well, I haven't mentioned it yet, but The Miz is hosting WrestleMania. I'm sure something's going to happen with him where he gets humiliated or something. But I think that's what we're getting.